If you've ever looked in the mirror after a heartbreak, after a divorce, or after holding together a life that kept falling apart, and you thought, who am I? No, like really, who am I? Then you're in the right place. My name is Landria, and most of my family and friends call me Lon or Lonnie. And this is a space for women in their 30s, 40s, or maybe even 50s who are rebuilding their lives after emotional exhaustion, burnout, or maybe even a divorce, all while reclaiming their peace, their pleasure, and their power. A little backstory about me. I was married 13 years. I believed in love. I believed in family. I believed in actually fighting for what you built. For a long time, I stayed. I stayed because I believed that marriage could be healed. I believed that. I stayed because I believed in forgiveness. I stayed because I didn't know who I was without that title of being Mrs., without that title of being wife. And honestly, I stayed because I didn't know what life would look like on the other side of this thing. But little by little, the version of me who was once vibrant, actually vibrant on the inside out, began disappearing. And one day I realized that I wasn't staying out of love anymore. It had absolutely nothing to do with love. I was staying out of this fear, out of this habit. It was a survival that I was staying for. And that was the day everything in me whispered. I could just feel it. You cannot save this marriage by losing yourself. I used to ask myself for years, why did you stay so long? Lon, why did you stay so long? Why did I stay so long? And the truth is, it's really quite simple. And it's just true. I stayed because I didn't know me. I didn't remember me. I stayed because I didn't know where I was going and I didn't even know how to start over. Eventually, I chose one of the hardest things that I think a woman could ever do. I chose myself. Not the version that people expected. Not at all. Not the strong one who never breaks. Not the girl who keeps trying and trying to earn or to prove her worth. The real me, the vibrant me that was vibrant on the inside and out. The one that I hadn't heard in years. When the marriage ended, I actually thought that the hardest part was over. But God or the universe, whatever name you choose to use, had more transformation waiting for me. And what I realized was that I couldn't rebuild my life in the same environment that broke me. And like it just hit me all of a sudden. And so I decided to resign from my job as a principal. I packed up my house, everything in it, sold it, and I left everything I knew, everything familiar, and I moved to an entirely new state and started over. I started over scared, I started over alone, and I started over deeply uncertain. I did not have a clue, but I knew one thing, and that was that I was starting over. But here's what I learned. Sometimes life will strip you from everything comfortable so it can return you to everything true. Leaving wasn't the end, it was actually the beginning of who I am now. Today, I'm an intimacy and reclaiming coach. I'm a woman who helps other women remember their softness, their voice, their sensuality, their identity, their divine power. You see, I believe that once we go through, once we pick ourselves up off the floor, our testimony becomes our purpose. And we use that to help other people. We hold their hands and help pick them up off the floor. And so that's why I'm here. I dance, I teach, I create, I guide, and I speak life. I'm finally living a life that feels more and more like me. Mic check, mic check. Is the mic working? Camera check, camera check. Who are we recording? So, this channel is for the woman rebuilding after heartbreak, divorce, burnout, or simply losing herself in all of the many roles she's had to play. On this channel, I'll be sharing with you the many things that I've learned over the years as it relates to reclaiming your identity, healing your nervous system, all about your feminine energy and sensuality after this emotional trauma, intimacy and connection, becoming her again, soft life as a grown woman. And sometimes you'll see me post some of my line dancing as movement medicine. This is not a channel about surviving. This is a space all about becoming. So, why am I doing this? You see, for years, I spent so many years cut. So, why am I doing this? I spent so many years feeling absolutely alone in my pain. I wore a mask. I pretended so much to be somebody. And I don't want any woman to ever feel that again. So if you're in a season of rebuilding, if you're remembering who you are, if you're ready to feel alive again, you're safe here. You're seen here, and you will not walk this journey alone. If I said anything in this video that touched you, if you felt a pull in your chest, or if you heard a whisper that says, it's my time, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And I would like to invite you to join me every week as we rebuild, reclaim, and return to the woman we were truly meant to be. I'm Lon.